think with what we know to come, this epic title race that's about to kick off, you've got, yourselves hunting down that three-peat, and I know you don't want to say it, but the treble, you've got that going on. Arsenal trying to win their first Premier League title in nearly 20 years with the young Mikel Arteta. People still doubting them, and that's the big question I've seen just start to be kind of brought up on the talk shows and the preview shows. Now that we're actually getting to it, and it's been discussed in the last month at large, but do you feel that you saw Arsenal fans over the international break fuming at Rodri's tackle on Odegaard, fuming that Saka played 90 minutes against the Ukraine? Do you still have that same belief that they're going to crumble and essentially bottle the position they're in? Do you still think they're not going to be able to cope with that big blue shark coming up from behind?
I just believe in my team, Terry. That's what people don't understand. If you've won 4 out of 5 titles, how can you not be confident when it comes to the business end of the season? Early in the season, we wasn't at the races. We dropped stupid points, our own fault. And I said, if we can keep on the coattails to get to that last 10 games with a chance, we've got the best chance ever. And we're there. So, you know what I mean? We win the game in hand, it's 5. If we beat them, it's 2. So, listen, we chased United down, 6 games to go, 8 behind, we won it. Liverpool came to the Etihad 7 points clear. Yeah, we beat them and we won it. So you got to be confident. I think, people expect me to start being asked about it. I'm not. I just concentrate on my team. The Arsenal boys are concentrating on their team. And I think what you're getting with a lot of people, because it's unknown with Arsenal being top of the league, I think a lot of people think automatically they're going to crumble. But I remember this with Leicester. Everybody kept saying they're going to go, Leicester's going to crumble, Leicester's going to crumble. And before we knew it, they were smashing it in the top bin at the Etihad and they were fucking on the march. So, Listen, if Arsenal carry on doing what they've done for the first part of the season, they'll win the league. But what I'm saying is the first part of the season is not as intense as this part. This is where it gets going for both teams. And that's why I said when the very first show, this is where we find out which team's got the minerals. City's had the minerals for the last 4 out of 5 and we've got the job done. But only close. I'm talking fine margins, you know what I mean? You're talking very fine margins. So it is what it is. I'm looking forward to it. It's a title race and we're still in it, as well as the FA Cup and the Champions League. So my season as a City fan, I've still got a lot of twists and turns to go.
There certainly are. And I think there'll be, like this weekend as an example, I think Arsenal win, I think you draw. But that doesn't mean it's over. And that's what it's going to be interesting. And they've then got to go away to Liverpool themselves. So, you could see that go the other way. I mean, if then they lose and you win your next game, you've gained a point. So I don't think it's the end of the world if City don't win this weekend. Of course, you want to win every single match. You absolutely do. But I just look at this Arsenal team and I do think they've got it. I really do think they've got the bit between their teeth and their mentality. But it's going to come, a lot of it's going to come down to the fans. The fans have got to hold their nerve, because the one thing you guys will have is there'll be an energy, even when it's kind of, if it's going wrong at any moments in games, the general energy from your fans is going to be positive. We know we can do it. Why? Because you've done it before. From the Aguero moment to many others in the last decade or so, you've been able to achieve that. This is about the Arsenal fans remaining cool, calm, and collected and pushing positive energy into their squads, because especially the guys at the match. Because for me, fans, the roles fans play in their team's success is very, very understated. There was a reason that Man United under Ollie was able to come from behind so regularly away from home during the lockdown games, as it were, because you didn't have that pressure and that goading from the fans. The famous 7-2 that Liverpool lost, as funny as it is to banter them, when they went back to 2-1, if that was in real football with fans, those Villa fans would have started to shit themselves. Liverpool would have come back into the game. But you take that pressure away. So Gooners are the ones here who have to remain cool, calm, and collected. Stop showing your ass when a bad tackle happens to one of your players. Don't show your panic, because that will filter into that dressing room. It always does. It always filters.
I keep getting told off these Arsenal fans that, Steve, don't listen. Which Arsenal fans are you referencing in that? So I'm because I'm on an online platform, the Arsenal fans I'm referencing are the ones I see online. So AFTV, whoever I see, they're the ones I reference when I would talk about them. There's loads of Arsenal fans I know that aren't online that I speak to regularly who come over to my Instagram and we talk football and that. They're just enjoying it, and they should do. You've got to enjoy it. From look at the season Arsenal's had. They're on the crest of a wave. It's a dream come true. You know, he could have very easily been sacked last season. A lot of them wanted it. You know, Big Robbie's already been called out on that and tried to say he didn't. And the clip came out of him saying it's time for the manager to go. But just admit it. At the time last year, a lot of them wanted Arteta out. They've stuck with him. He's pulled the club together. He's galvanised the team. He's galvanised the fans. He's galvanised the whole club as a whole. They're marching forward. Next minute, they're in a title race. They're 10 games off winning the Premier League. Think about it. 10 games off winning the Premier League. Arsenal. If someone had said that to you last season, you'd have fell about laughing your bollocks off. So what they've achieved this season is unbelievable. And like I say, now's the business time. Now's the time for us to stand up. They're the team to be chased. We've got to chase them. We've found ourselves in a position because we haven't been good enough that we're behind. So we've now got to make it up at the end of this season and get in front. And they've got to stick to the standards they've upheld all season and get the noses in front and see the job through. And, you know, time will tell.
It certainly will. Time will tell. And I think, as this comment here says, the Arsenal blueprint has said that it's bloody amazing being in the race. And I do think that's something that Gooners have got to. Like, I live with a Gooner, so I know. And she's actually in LA at the moment, but I don't know. I don't know if she's going to enjoy these last 10 games because she wants.
Oh, you won't enjoy it. I'll tell you, as a Man City fan, an Arsenal fan, you ain't going to enjoy it because it'll knock you sick. There's going to be twists and turns. You're going to concede early goals to teams, and you think, shit, they're going to defend like fuck, and you're going to plough it to the end, and you might nick it or you might not. We was going for the title last season. We went to West Ham. We were 2-0 down at half-time at West Ham, Upton Park. We came back, Jack Grealish, 2-2, yeah? Going into the last game of the season, we're 2-0 down at half-time. We're 2-0 down to Aston Villa. We pulled it back in 17 minutes to win the league. Imagine your emotions for that, Terrace. So you've seen you go 2-0 down at Upton Park. You walk away from there with a draw. You think, have we bottled it? And then you find yourself 2-0 down against Villa at home. And you're thinking, not again. But because of the Aguero moment in your mind, you're thinking, this isn't doom and gloom. We've been here before. The first time it happened to us, it was a meltdown. The second time, it's like there's always that slim chance where something can happen. As soon as we scored the first, I knew it was on. And then bang, 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 we're 3-2 up and we've won the Premier League. And that's how quick in football can change. You can't ever take them moments away. Arsenal fans are going to go through them moments in these last 10 games, let me tell you.
Yeah, they are. And that's why they've got to hold it together, because there'll be when you've never experienced it or it's been a long time, the older Gooners have been through this. The younger ones haven't. And the younger ones are the ones that are noisy online. The online noise is what drives the media agendas, and the media agendas will feed into dressing rooms. They always have and they always will. That's never going to go away. It's about being mindful. George G here says, big up, Big Steve. Confident and looking forward to the last 10 games. At the same time, a bit worried as well. We all know that what City are capable of. May the better team win it.
That's it, mate. That's all it is. May the best team win. I know people want a big row and all that. Not got the energy for it. All my energy now is focused on my team in the next 10 games and the last competitions. I'm going to every single game from now to the end of the season. Bayern Munich away, all that. So I'm focused on my team. These Arsenal lads are focused on their team. And, you know, forget the nonsense. Let the players do it on the pitch. And at the end of the season, it's either going to be Arsenal champions of the Premier League, which is unthinkable for them, but well done, or Manchester City catch them and steal the league title. And then again, it's well done to us. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely. Do you think that the Champions League and the FA Cup, I know you don't like talking about it, but the treble that you're in, do you think that's going to be a distraction? Do you think you might focus more on one, like the Champions League, then the Premier League, or do you think you'll go hell for leather in all three?
We'll be in them all. We did it last season. We was in all the competitions last season, Champions League, FA Cup. But last season we didn't have the squad. We had Fernandinho playing centre back. John Stones was playing right back. We had to play Zach Steffen in net in the semi. We sacrificed the semi-final really against Liverpool, so we were good against Madrid. And yeah, it went a bit tits up, and we limped over the line. Emerick Laporte had to play strapped up last few games, patching him up, and like you say, we limped over the line. I think this season we're in better shape. I think we've got a really strong bench. I think Pep's been rotating it really well. We've got to keep the big fella fit up front, and yeah, I think we're used to getting to the last stages of every competition, Terry. It's nothing new to us, playing all these games. It's not. So we just got to do what we do every season, but make sure we get the job done.
Totally get you there. I think, again, it's a hard one. I understand this idea that it can distract, but also sometimes it's a nice distraction. Having supported a club that for many years competed on all four fronts sometimes, it's kind of nice when you can you can win a Premier League game at the weekend, and then the following weekend it might be an FA Cup semi-final. You can just take your mind off the league for a little while. It kind of relieves the pressure a little bit, if that makes sense, and keeps the football flowing. You've also got the chance of rotating, which Arsenal have a lot less of, meaning that you can keep some of your bench, some of your not second string, but some of the guys that come on off the bench fresher, meaning that if there is an injury, they're ready to go. Now, Arsenal might go through the next 4 or 5 games, barely rotate, and then they get an injury, and you've got to bring someone in that's barely played any football for a month. So I think having those midweek games, the FA Cups, could be a benefit to City. I'm not going to yield on that.